Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1967 Smith Corona Super Sterling vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide that allows you to load the page in straight, and these are your margins. I'm going to set this left margin on 0 and the right margin on 90. This has the Elite typeface, which prints 12 characters per inch, so you can fit more letters on a line with this versus the Pica, which prints 10 characters per inch. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets it back to the beginning. It skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip that switch back 1. Skips 2, 1 more, skips 3. We're going to keep it on single for now and finish typing. Actually, I was able to type all the keys on the keyboard on one line because this does have Elite typeface. So on this next line, I'll just type a sentence real quick. Very nice type. This is an excellent condition typewriter. Very hard to find something in this condition at this age. They don't make them like this anymore. A lot of people want a brand new typewriter, but the things that they make are made in China now, so they're very cheaply made. This is well designed and well made. Everything's heavy, everything's metal. This thing will last forever if you take care of it. If you buy something brand new, it'll last maybe a year max, and then things start breaking. This thing is meant to last forever if you take care of it. This little panel snaps back in there. I'll show you how to do that later. To pull the page out easy, you just flip the switch to the front and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before we load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Backspace on the left side here, that works good. A shift on each side. Shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Above that is your touch control. The farther down you go, the more tension you have with the keys. They respond faster. You just have to hit them harder. I like to keep mine on low. I'm not a writer. I just know how to fix these things, and that's it. So when I type on it, I don't want to have to hit the keys that hard. On the right side here, we have the color selector switch. Flip that down to red, it'll print the bottom portion of the ribbon. You flip it up, it'll print the top portion of the ribbon. Put it in the middle and it won't print at all. That works good. This is your tab on the right side as well. Right now we should have one tab set around the middle. The reason why I do that is because when you don't have a tab set on some of these typewriters, it goes slamming very hard all the way to the end, causing wear and tear. So I like to keep one set right there around the middle just by hitting that set button. And to clear it, you just hit the CL button. That works good. You can set as many tabs as you want on this model. MR right here is margin release. You get to the end of the margin. Pretty much all typewriters have a block, so you don't type on type of the same letter over and over. And if you want to get past that the margin block, you just hit the MR button, and it will allow you to type and print past that block all the way to the end of the platen. That works good. Open the hood. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling to the right. And if you want to switch the direction, you just push where my thumb is. There's a little switch there. You push it back and it'll start pulling to the left side counterclockwise. Push it to the front and it'll start pulling to the right again. And that's where we want it to go. That function works good. On the right side here is your carriage lock. You hold it up while you move the carriage to the right, and it'll lock right there in the spot that it wants to protect itself in the case. When you have it in the case side will be hugged up against this, so it can't move out, because if you pull it out, it'll unlock automatically. That works good. This is your carriage release, and there's one on each side. Be careful with these. These are actually one of the only flawed designs that I consider a flaw. They're very convenient to use because of the leverage, but they do break easily. It's made out of plastic. But if they break off, you could still use the carriage release by pushing from underneath. And here's the one on this side. Just be careful if you have one of these. Be careful to protect that when you're putting it in the case, moving it around or whatever. If you push in the button here, it'll disable the spacing when you turn the platen knob. So you can get to an exact spot on the page, and this also has a function to permanently do that by pushing that down. This lever, there's a lever right there. You push that down and disable it all together. Push it up. You hear those clicks. Each one of those clicks is one space. Also, there's another function that I did not get to. Actually, it doesn't have that function. There's a D-jammer on some of these, and it's located on this side. And it's pretty much useless, but if the keys jam up, you hit that button and it de-jams it. It's just one of those functions like a power space. It's just an extra function that you never really use. It's just kind of cool. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.